LOHAS is a huge market, and a lot of people would see organic and things like that in their minds as being fringe. They think it's alternative lifestyles, it's things like that, therefore it's small. It's actually not. It's actually very large and very mainstream in many sectors. We have a couple of quotes here. For instance, it's going back some time. LOHAS has been around for a while. And in the States, in 2003, the New York Times described the LOHAS market as being potentially the biggest market you've never heard of. In the States, it remains that way. People do not use LOHAS as a general consumer term. It's a business-to-business term, and it's used to describe market research more than anything else. The estimate of the market, the latest research that we have that actually gives a number to it, quantifies it, gives a number of 290 billion in the USA alone. So it's significant. So to talk about what it is to go off the chart. It really needs to explain the history of LOHAS, so and how it came about. LOHAS originated from a piece of research, or a book actually, that was written in the early 90s by a social anthropologist called Paul Ray. He identified a consumer called the cultural creative. It's a very broad term, and what that meant was a demographic in the States that was well educated, tended to work in creative and media industries, and was actually changing the culture of consumer markets. The best example that you can use in a US business context is Whole Foods Market, which you may or may not be aware of. So Whole Foods Market is a big box grocer, and it's focused entirely on organic and ethical produce, packaged goods as well as fresh. And its growth has been pretty spectacular for this kind of business. From 1980 through to now, it's grown from nothing to 300 stores. But the interesting things start when you look at the business itself. It's got a double turnover per square metre versus the grocery average in the States, and triple gross margin per square metre than any other retailer in the States, or versus the average. Those numbers are exciting if you're in retail and you want to understand why. And the point is, they've targeted a well-off consumer that is evolving their taste and their purchasing towards premium products. They're willing to pay a premium for healthy products and products that are better for the planet. So trying to get an understanding of this, a company called Natural Marketing Institute in 1999 did a large-scale piece of research to try to get to grips with this consumer. As with most things in the States, it tends to be coastal, so east and west coast, and they derived the term LOHAS to describe the segment that was previously known as cultural creative. So here, lifestyles of health and sustainability is quite literally a descriptor of the people within the market segment that are buying or rocketing, as you might, depends on the term you want to use, rocketing in the areas of health and fitness, environment, personal development, sustainable living and social justice, exactly as it is up there.